On Friday, Judge Arthur Engoron, the New York State Supreme Court judge that is overseeing the ongoing fraud trial against Trump, his sons, and his entire company, Engoron on Friday had to expand the gag order to include Donald Trump's lawyers because, by golly, they just can't stop themselves from attacking clerks inside of Engoron's courtroom, which, of course, according to his gag order against Donald Trump, that's a big no-no. You can't do that. Trump's already been fined twice for a grand total of $15,000. And then in court last week, Christopher Keese, one of Donald Trump's lawyers, attacked one of the clerks in court. So Engoron on Thursday said, listen, I am tempted to expand this gag order to include Christopher Keese and, of course, Alina Habba, but I'll make that decision later. Then he came back on Friday and said, you know what? I've made my decision. We're going to expand the gag order so Trump can't talk about these people, and now Alina Habba, Christopher Keese, and any other member of Donald Trump's legal team, you guys also cannot talk about these people, or you will, of course, be facing sanctions from the court. Now, the sanctions, as we've seen so far, pretty weak. Weak enough to where they're almost ineffective, I would call them. But the gag order is now in place, and it does incorporate all of these other folks. Now, following this decision on Friday, Alina Habba did what she always does, right? She goes crying to the media because that's what she does best. Certainly not law that she does best. So she goes crying to Newsmax and says, this is outrageous. They're stifling our free speech. Everyone's against us. This is a constitutional violation, blah, 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 blah. And then she also admitted, she's like, I'm a lawyer. I'm a spokeswoman. I got to be able to talk. But the thing is, you don't. I mean, you're not forbidden from talking about the case. You literally went on a media outlet, a nationally televised media outlet, to claim that somehow your freedom of speech is being violated. You're allowed to talk about the case. You're allowed to talk about the evidence. You're allowed to hurl whatever slander you want against Letitia James, as Donald Trump has repeatedly done. Nobody's stopping you from doing any of that. All the judge says is keep my staffers' names out of your mouth. Eventually he's going to pull a Will Smith, just walk up there and start slapping people if he needs to. No, he really wouldn't, but, maybe Christopher Keese deserves it. However, Engoron, in issuing his expanded gag order, did mention the fact that his office, these staffers, the people that are being attacked, including himself by Donald Trump, they have received hundreds of threats. Hundreds of threats that they have to take seriously because of what we have seen from Donald Trump's supporters. You can't just automatically assume that when Donald Trump issues a, statement about somebody and then all the threats come in that, these people are blowing smoke. No. We have seen them take action against people that Donald Trump has openly attacked. All they need, as I always say, is just, a minor little shove in that direction. And that shove can come in the form of just mentioning somebody's name that Donald Trump doesn't like. That's what's happened here. Engoron did the right thing by expanding the gag order. Now what he needs to do is expand the punishments the next time that gag order gets violated. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.